Aloha, people. I'm out here doing that wonderful task that we all know is laundry. And boy, do I love laundry. I've been thinking about sugar. Because I'm trying to get less of it in me. And there's a Coco's right down the street here that sells 3 of these really great homemade cookies for $1.50. And I've had to kick them. Why? Because sugar is ruining us. And if your belly's just a little bit too big or really too big, or if your kid's just a little on the bigger side and you would wish all of this would slim down, this video is for you and it might save you. Why? Because sugar is like omnipresent. It is in things that you don't think it's in. And I want to show you a little bit about that and how you figuring this out is going to help your health out a lot. Gym towels. Laundry day. Well. There is a storm brewing. I don't know if you can hear the thunder out here this Friday afternoon, but there's a storm brewing here, and there's a storm brewing in you. And that's a sugar storm, okay? So, what's the big issue about sugar? A couple of things. Mainly when it comes to like belly fat, sugar, particularly fructose. And when we talk about fructose, think like a part of table sugar. Think of high fructose corn syrup. And high fructose corn syrup is something you can find everywhere. It's almost like lawn grass or like trees. It's everywhere, okay? You can find it in energy drinks like this. You can find it in bread. You can find it in barbecue sauce. Try even ketchup, okay? Maybe not every single brand, but even with that, all these brands have added sugar. And, well, added sugar is added sugar. Well, what's the issue with sugar anyways? Particularly fructose, like we just talked about, gets digested. And quickly, if you have too much that your body doesn't need, after your blood sugar levels rise, the rest of that sugar that you didn't need, it gets stored as fat. And especially fructose, which it gets digested by your liver slightly differently than other forms of sugar. Well, that sugar in particular likes to hang out right here. And right here is actually part of a big piece of how your doctor will determine if you're a pre-diabetic or not. If you're a pre-diabetic, you probably have too much fat here, which means you probably eat too many sugary things. Screw all the fat this, fat that. Fat makes you full, and it makes food taste good. Sugar makes you fat, while it still does make food taste good. So that's our big issue here. And what we want to do is start looking at what are the added sugars in our foods. We talked about bread. We talked about energy drinks. There's also the very common things that we know have sugar in them. Cookies, candy, pop, sweetened iced tea. But there's also, condiments that we use all the time. There is that little, it's the storm brewing. That's that little tablespoon of sugar that you put in your coffee every single morning, multiple times a day maybe, okay? So we need to figure out, what can I do to get away from sugar? While I'm not going to sit here and act like getting away from sugar is a very easy task, I want you to understand this. Eating more fruit is going to help you out. Fruit has sugar, but fruit has nutrients. The sugar that's in your closet doesn't have any nutrients, okay? So having fruit in replace of desserts or making your desserts more fruity and less added sugary is going to do you a lot of justice. Cutting out cereal, because cereal has a lot of sugar. With like oatmeal, it's going to give you a long way to go. But I need you to just be aware of the fact that you probably eat too much sugar. We'll have another video where I talk about what kind of things you can replace with sugar, or replace sugar with. But I need you to just start looking at the labels of the things that you're eating, the things that are in your house right now that have too much sugar. And understand that if you want to get nice and slim and get a six-pack, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot of that extra sugar and those snacks, because these things add up very, very, very quickly. If you need to eat 1,600 calories a day to get the look that you want, that is 4 meals of 400 calories or less. I have some bad news for you, okay? This bag of air right here, this bag of air, we all know it's a bag of air, has 400 calories in it. In 4 bags of air, you can eat 1,600 calories. Let me say it another way. With 4 bags of air that you can eat in like 30 minutes or less, you can eat 1,600 calories. A 5th bag of air is the recommended daily intake. That's your sugar lesson for the day. Yes, I know that that bag of chips is not all sugar. But let's face it, if you're eating really sugary foods, you're probably eating a lot of junky foods. And if you cut those bags of air out your life, you'd cut out a lot of calories and lose some weight.